Hey, welcome back. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining the channel. Today on the bench I have a Sansui turntable. This is a fully automatic direct drive turntable, the P-L40. It's a linear tracker. I don't know if you can tell by the script on there. And this came to me somehow, I don't know, it followed me home. And going to get it ready for giving it a new home. So what I did with this one, I haven't done anything to it actually other than what you see here. I added some tape across the back because what I was doing is I was polishing this lid. It had some nasty scuff marks along the top, and they weren't really scratches, they were just really heavy abrasions. Not deep, but they were quite noticeable. So I did some sanding, I did some polishing, and that was back when I was doing the Luxman turntable. I was using this as a practice bench, and I was practicing on here, and you can see it's quite blotchy. Now I didn't finish this. I still intend to finish this, but I'm going to continue on getting this looking good. Now the reason I taped that up is because there is some paint along the back. The plastic is painted and I didn't want to damage the paint, so I covered it up. I don't know, I don't think I damaged the paint. Looking at it here, these graphics here are printed on the underside, so if I do decide to polish the inside, you have to be careful of this area and not damage any of the paintwork. But I think the inside's okay. I think it's just dirty, and this side had all the scratches. So I'll continue with that, and get back on it. I'll continue with that, and but in the meanwhile, let's get this thing working. Let's plug it in and turn it on, see what it does. I don't know if it works or not. It was given to me with the promise of not working, so. Alright, so we got vinyl loaded. We have amplifier connected. And I think we are ready to just go up, down. Manual. You hear a motor. Hear a motor. Oh, a little bit of movement. Up, down. Okay, well maybe this thing will work. I'm really struggling to get across the album. Okay. Is it going to return on its own or no? Some funny noises inside as it travels across. Okay, let's see if we can get start stop. Okay, the cueing is not working. You can hear the motor going, but its tone arm's not coming down. And then it stops. Okay, it seems like it's kind of confused now. It's locked up. Let's reset this. If you can see, this is illuminated blue. Yeah, the tone arm is not coming down. Too bad. Okay, do we even have any audio here? Let's touch the stylus and see. Give this some volume. Don't hear anything. Don't hear anything. Let's try this again. I think it's starting to work a little better because travel of that arm's becoming more easier. getting any sound from the stylus. Okay, put the record away. We're going to have to do some repairs, I think. Just want to show you this. This Pete Shelley album. Look what's sitting behind him there. Commodore. What is this? 1981. Pretty cool. Okay, being this is an automatic turntable, it's got some features here. One thing, it's got automatic record sizing, so it can tell if you have an LP or a 45, and it has these 4 holes here, and they have like little prisms sticking up out of the mat. And I guess what they do is they capture the light coming from here. It must be an infrared light source, and then hitting on these 2. And from that, depending on which one's blocked, they can tell which album is sitting on the platter. So if they're both blocked, you have a 12-inch. If only one is blocked, you have a 7-inch, correct? So we take that off, and then we have aluminum platter, which is very light. It's got a warning here regarding transit screws. I don't know where these transit screws are. But let's pull the platter off. Yeah, it's quite a thin aluminum platter, and it has the prisms screwed to the bottom in both locations. And then there's a couple of optical sensors here and here. So I guess this little prism, all it does is it takes the light from the angle. Well, you can see it here. It's got an angle, takes the light and directs it straight down into the optical sensor. This is a direct drive motor. We have a cover here, and we have a cover here that we can remove. This cover here, I think, might be the one we need to take off to access all of the mechanicals. Let's try this first. I do have the manual, but I'm not bothering pulling it out and reading it until I get stuck, and then we can figure out what to do next. Well, let's take this out and see. One thing I want to do is I want to remove the stylus. I don't know how to do that on this thing. Well, let's take... Is there another screw I'm missing? All right, we are in. Okay, let's try it again to see if we can get that cueing mechanism to start working. If it's just this belt, you can replace that belt. It's simple enough. This looks like the cueing mechanism right here. Okay, let me get this set up and we'll put it back together. Put the platter back on and we'll see if we can get it to work. Okay, I think we're powered up. Let's press the start button. Yeah, you can hear the motor going. We need to replace that belt. Okay, let me try cueing here. No. Yeah, the motor's spinning, the belt is slipping. There we go. There. Okay, go up. Okay, it's working now. Just gave it a little touch. Let's try playing some music. Start. No, it's not going to drop. Okay. Oh, there it goes. it is working. So, we replace that belt, we should be okay. Yeah, I like this. Okay. Okay, let's do it. I hope you can see here. I'm just going to go in and take this. There we go. Actually, the belt is fine. It's just, it needs a good cleaning. I think. No, this belt is good. It is just, I don't know. We're gonna need to clean the pulleys, and we'll clean the belt, and then this thing should work like a champ. So let's do that. Just gonna start off with isopropyl alcohol, and we'll get it. It feels like it has a powder on it or something, like some kind of a, almost like baby powder is put on it, talc. It is coming off pretty dirty. You can see here we got quite a bit of dirt on this belt. Just keep going until it no longer sheds dirt. Yeah, it keeps giving up the dirt. Just keep going, keep cleaning until it no longer shows dirty. So let me get another. I'll keep cleaning this. Okay, the alcohol cleaning did pretty good, but I'm going to give it another treatment of rubber renew just to make sure. I bet you the belt will work just fine the way it is right now, but we're going to give it another clean with this stuff. This stuff will remove anything that the alcohol won't touch. So let's just give this a quick. Yeah, it's not coming back too bad now. It's pretty. The alcohol took the majority of it all off. See, we're not getting much more off with the rubber renew, which tells me this belt is ready to go. So we'll leave it at that and put that belt back on. Just cleaning this pulley on this motor. The motor is quite noisy with no belt. I'm just going to give it, try and get this in here. I'm just going to give it some of this on the motor bearing and see if I can quiet that motor up. I can't even see in there. Hang on, let me what I need to do is put a bit on the tip of a screwdriver, and then let me get this so we don't get oil everywhere. Okay, that should be enough. Now I can get in there with this. And just touch it, and then the oil flows in. See how that sounds. That was a lot better. I'm just going to let that go for about 15-20 minutes, maybe an hour, and just let the motor. These motors that have very low frequency of use, they tend to gum up inside because of oxidation. Sometimes you just need a good run to get them going. See, it timed out. It's the problem with electronics. It sounds a lot better. Okay, get the clean belt back on. Let's try this out. How do we start this thing? I press that. Yeah, it drops immediately. Okay, so up, queuing, down. Yeah, it's working good. Okay. Let's try the automatic return at the end. Let's see if this works. That other motor sounds sick though. So I think what I'm going to do is remove, I'm not sure how to get this thing open. I think the cover, the black plastic cover comes right off. If you remove the platter, remove this access door, I think it just lifts right off. So I think we'll do that. I think we'll go in, we'll service the electronics. We'll service that other motor. It's not sounding very good. It's kind of dragging. And then we'll see, probably what I'll end up doing is replacing caps in this thing. If I'm going to find it a new home, I want to make sure it's 100% before it goes out the door. So let me do that. Let me figure out how to get this thing opened, and we'll go continue servicing. Okay, I removed 7 screws from the bottom, 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and 1 here in the center. And it seems like the lid is now loose and free. So we can take this out. You can scrub this in the sink, do whatever you want with it, clean it up. Just put it aside for now. And we have all our electronics. Pretty interesting. Our motor. Oh, look. Look. Look what I just found. Somebody's been using rubber bands. And that is not a belt. So we'll get a belt for this. Even though it was working, it's just not the right thing to be using. Alright, let's have a little tour of what's going on here. We've got power cord coming in here. Let me unplug this, I don't want to zap myself. Power cord comes in here, and then it goes through to these 2 wires, which goes to power switch. And then that turns on the transformer. So you're going to watch, there's 120 volts here, or 240, wherever you live. So you don't want to be touching here. This is all exposed mains wiring. Got transformer. We got 2 bridge rectifiers, which tells us we have 2 independent power supplies. A set of caps here, set of caps here, and we have 3 devices under here that are heat sinked to the bottom plate. And one of them is a 2SD744, a 7805 regulator, and a D313 transistor. So there's 2 transistors and a 5-volt regulator here on this. So you want to look on this for crack solders. You want to look on crack solders for on the power supply board as well. And then we have our motor board. So this is all. Looks like we're using grease on this, some kind of black grease. We can replace that with fresh. And here we'll have our motor servos and control. This board here looks like it's just has some limit stuff. No, what is this? This board here has our 2 photo sensors. Yeah. This one is labeled 17 centimeters. This one's labeled 30 centimeters. So these between these 2 sensors, it determines the size of the album that you plunk down on the platter. In the back we have logic control, and we have also a relay here. There's a read relay that switches the outputs from between the cartridge and the outputs. Switches it on and off. It mutes the sound when the tone arm is not on the grooves. And we have, like I said, this is all system control back here. There's a processor and yeah, all the logic and smarts. Up here we just have a board with some switches on it, probably some illumination, some LEDs, and yeah, it's all pretty simple stuff. What we need to do first is find a belt, something that's going to fit. It's going to be pretty small, probably a 3-inch or less. So let me see what I have in stock here. Okay, here's a 3-inch belt. That's how small a 3-inch belt is. It's probably 1.5 inches, inch and a quarter in diameter. But let's try this one. I think it's still too big still. Yeah, it is still too big. So we're going to have to go smaller than a 3. Let me dig out what's my next size down. Well, I'm running out of options. For square cut belts I have 2.9 and 2.6. That's my next 2 tries. I think we'll try the 2.9 first. Let's see here, get a knife. These are 0.046 inches in width, which is probably just the correct size for this. And it looks like it's still too loose. You can tell it's too loose. Here, I'll show you. You can see it's still too loose. It's got a lot of slack in it. And when I rotate it, you can see how it, watch here, you see how it kind of bulges up? That's too loose. It shouldn't be that loose. So we'll go with the 2.6. And we'll see. That 2.6 should be just right. This is a 2.6, and it's actually a thinner belt than the 2.9. It's got a thinner cross section. Let's see how this one works out. Yeah, that one's proper. Okay, so this is the belt that I used. It's a square cut belt, 2.6 inches, and cross section is 0.041 and the wall of 0.039. So it's almost a square belt. It's just a little bit rectangular. And that's the shot of the label, if you guys are looking for it. And that looks good. But we also have a problem here. We have trash buildup on the bearing. Can you see this? Some fuzz. So let's get the old screwdriver out and we'll oil this bearing as well. Yeah, that's a proper size there. Alright, so let's get some oil on our screwdriver. Let's see if I can drop this on without getting it on the belt. There. And it did get it on the belt. Look at that. Wipe that off. I don't know if I got it in the bearing. That's the thing I can't see. Okay, we'll test that later. Alright, I don't know if you can see this, but we got a cracked solder joint right on this transistor leg right here. There's a circle all the way around it. Resolder that. We'll resolder all the other ones beside them. And before I forget, so let's just do this now. Okay, this one looks cracked too. Alright. Might as well keep going. These ones don't look so great. That one. Okay. I'm going to be taking this board out and flipping it over anyways. I'm going to test some of these caps. I might just end up leaving them if they're okay. I have a feeling they're not okay. They're Nichicons. What kind of date code do we have here on this thing? Can't really see any. 84? 1984? That looks about right. 1984. So yeah, I think I'm going to replace some of these. We'll test them. We'll test them first and we'll see how bad they are. Okay, I went through and tested a few of the caps. They're down in value and they're down in ESR or up in ESR. These are Nichicons, but the ones I'm going to replace them with aren't much better. I'm just going to leave these alone. It's not like it's going to make any difference to the sound quality of this. This is not an audio amplifier. This is just power supply for the motor and for the servo control, and that's pretty much it. So If the caps are good and holding up, I'm going to leave them alone. Like I said, there's really no advantage to changing them sound-wise. It's just going to add cost. The big story here, though, is crack solders, and I found a few on this board. I'm going to scrutinize all these boards very carefully with a lens and make sure that there's no more crack solders, especially on these big connectors. That's where they usually crop up, is on these connectors, where you have a wire that goes off board, and every time you get a little bit of warmth or cooling down, you get a heat shrinking or stretching, and then you get a little bit of movement like that, and then you get a cracked solder, and that happens over time, over thousands of days of different heat cycling. So I'll just continue on here and keep like I checked all these caps, they're fine. I checked all the ones on this servo and they're fine. Power supply, yeah, they're okay. Alright, let's do this bearing. I think it's got some graphite grease. I don't know what black like that. Okay, let's give it a little cleaner on that, and we'll clean this off. Okay, I think we got that. Let's see what we can pull out of there. I'm just going to clean this all up. There's a ball in the bottom there, I can hear it. Looks like we got most of it out. No, not yet. There's like a plastic ball down there. It doesn't look like a steel ball. Clean swab and start again. Alright, starting to come clean now. There's a copper disc down there that's holding the ball in place. Yeah, okay, that's clean. We'll leave it at that. Just going to use synthetic grease. Probably about that much. That should be plenty nice. I think we're good. Alright. I really don't know how you set the tracking weight on this. I don't think there is an adjustment. There's a lead weight here screwed to the back. And this is our cueing mechanism here with this cam. So what happens is the motor spins, turns the worm gear rotates this cam around, and this cam will lift and lower this, which causes it to cue. And there's two switches here. Now you can test these switches for contact resistance. If they get really high contact resistance, they'll start mucking up this system control. These switches are easy to replace. You can buy them on AliExpress. They're really cheap. There's micro switches, and you can replace these easy. I'll test these and make sure that they're good. Other than that, there's really nothing to go wrong with this thing. There is an opto. Like as the arm rotates, it blocks a beam of light down here. You can't see it. There's an opto coupler, and so when the beam of light is blocked, that signals the computer to advance the tone arm. So it starts the motor up, and not this motor, this motor, and this motor pulls the tone arm across on this rail using these cables. It's a pretty simple system. All it has to do is keep up. So as the stylus is tracking, there's always a little bit of a tracking error, and that tracking error is right about here, just at a very slight angle. And the idea is that the optical system is supposed to keep this whole carriage system in step with the groove of the album. Everything looks good back here. I don't see anything that needs any attention. I just like this weight thing's got me. I'll try weighing this. What I might want to do is lower this arm down with the mechanism and see if I can get a weight on the stylus. Curious as to what it is. Okay, I don't know if you can read this. You can't read it from where you are, but I can shout the numbers out. I'm just going to slowly raise this up, and we'll get a reading on how much grams we have here. And it looks like 1.8, 1.88, 1.9. Yeah, 1.8 grams. That should be about right. No problem there. Okay. Get the stylus off. Just pull straight down. I don't want to break anything. There we go. Straight down. Okay, I'll examine this and we'll see how good it is. Should be alright. Okay, from what I can tell, this is a conical diamond. It almost looks like a steel pin with a sharpened point, but it's not steel because it's transparent. You can see light through it, so it's definitely a diamond. Yeah, I'm going to put this back together. There's really nothing. It just needed cleaning. It was kind of dirty. Once I cleaned it, I can get a good look at it. But now that it's clean, I can put it back in. And we can flow with this. I hope it just snaps in. It's not very friendly. Friendly design. Okay, there we go. This is really stiff. And our cover, we can put this snaps on. Alright, just going through and testing all the different modes here. So this is sounding a lot better. Yeah, it's working a lot better than it was before. Okay. This pilot lamp here is incandescent. And what it does is it kind of lights up all of this clear plastic. Gives it a kind of a glow. I wanted to take this apart and clean it all, but it's difficult. I think I might just leave it. It's working. Everything's working, so I was going to put it back together and then we'll give it a test. Alright, it's back together. Let's give it a test. I think everything is good. So it's automatic, it came down, it's all responsive, it's fast. We can cue with our buttons. Everything's looking good. Repeat. So let's try taking this to the end. We'll see if the repeat function works. There we go. Just as expected. Everything's working. Alright, so what I did is I went on AliExpress and picked up one of these sets, these foam pad sets for polishing. Now these are not very high quality, but you know what? They're going to do exactly what I want them to do. You have these Velcro pad, put this on your drill, and then you pick out whichever pad you want to use. There's different, let's see here, I'll show you the differences between these pads. Is the cut of the waffle. See, like these ones are more coarse. This foam is a lot more stiffer. This one's softer. So you would use a stiffer pad for cutting, and you would use a softer one for polishing. See, these have different profiles. And then they gave you a fluffy buffing one, which is just synthetic fake fur mounted on a pad, a Velcro pad. So this goes in the drill, and you can pick up these sets cheap. I think I paid like $5 shipped to the door. So if you're doing this kind of stuff, you probably want to get one of these sets just for make your life easier. You don't need it, but it makes your life easier and quicker. So I'm going to use this stuff. This is fine scratch remover, and I got the top masked off where it's painted. I'm just going to concentrate on this left side or right side here, and we're going to give it a little bit. Some of it's going to get absorbed into the pad, so I put extra on. I'm just going to get this moved around. And just go through and I'll go through and give it a polish, and I'll bring you back. I'll do half of it, I'll show you the difference. And I don't know how well you can see this. It's not coming out very well on the camera. It looks a lot better than in real life. You see all the haze on this side. That was polished before, and this is polished today. Yeah, I think it's going to work. I'm just going to go through and do the whole thing and then give it a wash. I can see a lot of like these big streak here. That's from the underside. It's dirty. You can see another streak here, but that's all on the underside. Okay, I'm going to keep going. We'll get this looking good. One thing you want to make sure of is when you're doing, you don't want to go too fast with the drill speed because it'll cause problems with the plastic. And then also, when the polish starts to dry up like it is here, you just want to stop, because you don't want to keep going with dry polish, because you'll actually do more damage than good. I think I just about got it here. It's going over with a clean cloth. And I think there's a scratch here that I didn't get. And it's actually looking pretty good. Except for on the underside of it, it's really dirty. Yeah, that looks really nice now. And then when you're done, take this off, rinse it out with cold water, just multiple times, get it. And then you can throw it in the wash if you want. Throw it in with your laundry and clean that off for next time. Alright, so I'm all set up to do the test video. The reason I wanted to get this fixed and out of the way first is because I wanted to feed this through this so I can feed it into the camera so you can hear what this and this sounds like together. And so we got them together and they're connected. And my test record today is a garbage Allman Brothers band. This one's quite warped. I don't know if you can see that there on the how warped it is. I think somebody actually tried to repair this album because I see some divots in this right around here. There's some divots on the vinyl in the grooves, like somebody was poking at it when it was soft. But what I did is I washed this. It was quite dirty. I didn't wash the backside. This is still quite dirty. But I washed this side with soap and water and scrubbed it with a brush with the grooves and dried it. And we're going to listen to this. I still haven't decided which song I picked. What I might do is play 2 songs, record 2 songs, and then pick out the best one of the 2 and let you guys hear it. So you're going to hear the cartridge, original cartridge. You're going to hear this turntable. You're going to hear the R606 phono stage in there, and it's going to be ported directly to the camera. So I'll do that now, and then we'll wrap this one up. Well, there you have it. I'm going to finish this one up here. I think it's a nice little turntable, even though it's made of plastic. And excuse me. It's what I like about these turntables is they're so easy to use. You plop a record on, press a button, walk away, and then when it's done, it stops. And these are excellent turntables to own and use because they're so simple to use and they're so trouble-free. Cartridge, I don't know if you could upgrade the cartridge. When you listen to the test video, this doesn't sound much different than my Nice Techniques turntable. The album it's an old pressing, and it's got its limitations. The sound quality is really not there. But I don't know if upgrading this cartridge would make much difference. I think that's doing pretty good actually for what it is. I would probably just leave it alone unless it really annoyed you in some way. But yeah, I'm going to finish this one up here. I'm going to find this a new home, and I'm sure I'll make somebody happy. It's working good, and I would be happy to own this and use it as a daily driver. I think it's good. It's not a high-end turntable, but it's not garbage either. So I'm going to leave it there at that. You guys argue over it in the comments what you think about it, and be done with this. So take care, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.